arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Cause I don't want to be alone. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy.
And look at Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete. The two of them go flying through the right-hand side, then the left-hand side. Jochen Hahn around the outside, and Lucas Hahn, no father and son, come together on the exit of turn one.
And the best thing about this is the fact that it's still a 15-minute sprint race. They've not extended the time of the race. It's still just like, it's going to be, what, 7 laps as well for
Yeah. We get to the real nitty-gritty of motorsport. Cranston and Smith are side by side for the title in the very final race of the season. As they go back up the hill towards the Schumacher. Nils Kor clips the back at 10. Simon Povey clips the side of Nils Kor. They go over the hill and Povey's around. Oh my god, that's going to definitely be the thumbnail, isn't it? Hit me in the right direction. Thank you so much.
23 cars.
Back in 2021, the Chaz Draycott Media European Touring Car Championship took place, showcasing the bonkers Kia Optima and a number of fictional brands created for the series as a way to provide teams with colour schemes and liveries that avoided any potential copyright implications towards brands or conflicts of interest for the drivers using them. Now, as if plucked from the same universe nearly 4 years later, some of those brands are set to return to your screens. There are no signs of door handles or Kia badges here though, as the latest Chaz Draycott Media branded iRacing series sets to follow in the footsteps of the relatively successful Formula 1, on which the curtain closed earlier this year. Combining action-packed open-wheel racing with the colourful brands and logos of the ETCC gives you my latest offering, Formula CDM. Formula CDM is set to be a group of championships visiting all corners of the globe, with drivers fighting for title honours in individual regions. There is to be a European, American, Oceania and even British championship, all culminating into the one with the most bragging rights, the World Series. The format will make use of a sprint and feature race, the former being short and snappy, rewarding a small points boost at the start of the night, while setting the grid for the latter, a long, tough race with a mandatory pit stop to throw all elements at our drivers. The car used will be the Tatus PM18, known in iRacing as the Indy Pro 2000 PM18, a fantastic little 500 kilo formula car propelled to over 160 miles an hour by 275 of Mazda's finest horsepower. The first season is planned to get underway in October 2025 with 8 meetings across Europe running into January 2026. And the best thing of all, entry fees will be just £5 for the first instalment. From there on, returning drivers will receive a discount on future entry fees, subject to participation. It's bound to be a brilliantly fun world tour in one of iRacing's most underrated open-wheel gems. Formula CDM, coming soon.
Type finish. I think Dennis Melchett has done enough to win the last round of the championship and to win the title all in one fell swoop.
It's a pretty boring car championship. Things are never chilled here. Honestly, the cars may be a bit dull, but wow, the racing certainly isn't.
Fastest lap of the race now, Ben Lambert.
Look at Andy Fox coming through the middle. It makes a little bit of contact. Dave Waldock is around and he's off on the grass.
Rayfield tries to go right round the outside of Druids. You do not do that and get away with it very often.
Takes the win in round 12. There's contact again. Fraser Smith and Dennis Melchett are off the circuit.
Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to the final ever race meeting in the British Boring Car Championship. Not just the end of Season 4 here, but the end of this series as we know it. We are putting the Jetta out to pasture at long last. But after 4 great seasons of the British Boring Car Championship, all good things must come to an end. And I'm delighted to be here at Silverstone, the legacy circuit, the 2008 version of Silverstone, on the international layout that the British Touring Car Championship was so famous for using, with Ed May alongside me in the commentary box to round things out. Ed, we said goodbye to Formula One earlier on this year and now doing the same with the boring cars. It seems a shame in a way, but it's run a good course this lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been sort of a staple of the channel for so long. It's time to obviously give some newer series, some newer cars, some newer formats for the championship a time in the spotlight as well. But I tell you, it has been a brilliant run. The past 4 seasons of the boring cars have provided some of the best racing you can get in Jettas and just in general on iRacing. It's such good quality. We've said it at the start of the season, we've said it at the end. The slower the cars, the better the racing, and there isn't very much, well, slower and better for racing than the Jettas.
Absolutely not, and these are the standings coming here tonight. Jake Cranstone is already champion of Season 4 of the British Boring Car Championship, but John Bailiff and Sam Van Olst are second and third, with Stephen Burns right behind. Stephen is likely to take third in the championship here tonight, as unfortunately Sam Van Olst doesn't have his priorities right and he's gone on holiday. Nodaphone and Mike Just Fit are close together, and that's why it's a bit more exciting actually that Sam isn't here, because Nodaphone obviously need both drivers here to stay ahead of the likes of Jake and his teammate Duncan Murray. Team Jane Fonda are not too far back. They still have a slight chance of winning the championship, but we'll have to wait and see. Taylor Adams just needs to basically score 2 points in the first race of the night, and he is one of only 3 independents here this evening with Togo Hisada and Eric Manintveld. So without JB Masida here, it's actually handed him the championship. So congratulations to Taylor Adams, not just winning the Sim Racing Magazine GT4 Challenge last season, but now winning the Mediocre Cup for Independents in the British Boring Car Championship. Now, I mentioned that Jake Cranstone was champion. I'm delighted to show you that he has the champion windscreen banner on his car and the large number 1 on the number board as well. Still registered under the driver number 2 though, as you'll see at the bottom of the graphic. I know that might be a little bit confusing, but I'm sure you'll all let that be for just one race meeting, as Jake still has to be sort of registered with that number for the results to work, basically, for his season count. But he was very open to running the number 1 on the car to celebrate his championship, as next season he won't get the chance to because there isn't going to be one. So he's running that with the Champions windscreen banner here tonight. Similar grey and white that he's had before, just with the word champion on it, like they used to do in touring cars. I remember in the year 2000 when Ford won the Constructors' Championship, they ran Champions of 2000 on their cars in the final race meeting of the year. This is something we can come to expect tonight, isn't it, Ed? Cars going off there at Maggots and Beckett's because of the way that you have to be on the brakes while turning.
Yeah, and I think we'll expect, well, the nice close pack battle that we're getting in qualifying to carry on into the race as well. All the drivers, as we've seen throughout the season, trying to stay together in that pack to, well, use the slipstream, work together, find the little pockets. We saw it a lot at Donington last time out, where basically the entire field was, well, in about a tenth of the circuit. And we'll be seeing that, I'll assume, here tonight as well. It was actually quite impressive from Taylor Adams in qualifying last time out. Didn't opt for that same strategy. Went off by himself. This time finds himself in the pack. Actually got into the front row without any slipstream, which was very impressive around Donington Park. Here, though, he's opting to, well, follow the crowd, follow the herd, stick in that pack and try and use them for a little bit of slipstream. Again, we see the pack slow down a little bit on the final corner, just all the way through here. Again, try to space themselves out apart from one another so they don't trip over each other going in towards Cops.
Yeah, a bit weird, isn't it, to see them slowing down that much, actually. We have a small grid here tonight of just 12 cars, but there are a number of commitments elsewhere, so unfortunately not all drivers available for this evening, but still we are very grateful to have each and every one of these guys out on track with us for the very final ever race. As you can see, though, and as I'll show you on the right hand side, it is quite late on in the day here in the sim. It is 6:15 in the evening, so the sun is setting here at Silverstone. It shouldn't go dark until the very end of the session, though. I don't know if we'll get headlights ablaze, but we'll get some fantastic conditions, and it's still relatively warm as well. The track temperature is only 23 degrees Celsius, though, so it's only going to get cooler as it goes on. I suppose that explains a little bit of the lack of grip that we've seen into some of these braking zones, Ed.
Yeah, they're so tricky. We can see actually, oof, that's not going to help things, is it? Car on the inside, that's Togo Hisada, just trying to get out of the way. It's always hard to judge closing speeds around here, but I think managed to do it without impeding John Bailiff too much through there. John, though, looking out of this lap instead, trying to have a nice gap to the car ahead. Try and focus on his next lap. Lovely little onboard shot. We can see just the amount of steering angle the driver's put on. Look at that, nearly 180 degrees of lock just to try and get the thing to turn. Out of Luffield as well, it's the same story. Just really cranking the lock on and powering through, and it's one of the quirks of the Jetta, isn't it, that we're going to miss, is the sheer amount of steering lock that you can put on, and the car just deals with it.
Yeah, it's always been the case that, you know, if the car isn't turning into the corner enough, just put more lock on and it will. It's a fantastic machine to drive, is the Volkswagen Jetta, and we are very sad to be seeing it go. But like I said, it's similar in fashion to Formula One, is that, you know, these ideas, they can be a lot of fun, they can be brilliant to run, but the idea, it has a lifespan, and I wouldn't want it to overstay its welcome. A number of the drivers have been saying between the race meetings that, you know, they'd love for it to carry on and love to carry on racing the Jetta, but they have the idea to run a free league and sort of open it up to just about anybody, which is what the idea was with boring cars. You know, a lot of these guys are very committed to racing this Jetta, but yeah, unfortunately I'll be canning the idea after this season. But it's one of those things, isn't it? You don't want to spoil the memory of it, because then once that's the end, that becomes your lasting memory of it, you know. And we've had a very, very good season in Season 4. Season 3 as well, with the introduction of a lot of these guys from the Racing Line Jetta TDI Cup. It really brought the level up a notch. And the likes of, well, I mean, look at it this way. We've had 4 different champions. And I don't think we've had a repeat champion either.
No, we've had 4 seasons, yeah, 4 different champions.
Dennis Melchett won the first one with, annoyingly, I think my brother won the Independence in the first season. And then season 2, my brother won the overall championship.
Yeah.
With the independents going to, I think, Calvin Dent that season. Season 3, Henry Morse won the overall championship from Jake Cranstone. And I don't remember who won the independents. It might have been Magic Sakovic, I think, won the independents in that one, because he was very high up in the overall standings as well. And now this season, it is this man here, Jake Cranstone, who wins the overall championship, and Taylor Adams. So we haven't had anybody repeatedly win a championship. And again, that shows you just how good the level is, doesn't it? And how much it's progressed.
Yeah, 8 different individual championships on offer and 8 different individual winners. It's a great way that, I guess, a great illustration of the competitive nature of the Jettas, and how obviously the season has grown and grown, and the level has just been continually increased by all of the new drivers that join us.
I'm just looking, sorry,
It's been a very lovely
the
journey.
teams championships as well, actually, to see who won those, because I'm pretty sure season 1 was Might Just Fit. It was. They won it from Ericsson Hitzers by 31 points. Season 2, I can't remember who won the teams championship. It was Team Red Ring, the Audis, because it was my brother Matt Draycott and Josh Rayfield won it in season 2. I did remember that one, sorry. It was season 3 that I couldn't remember for the life of me. Team Jane Fonda, of course. They're trying to defend their title. So even now, the teams championship isn't decided here yet. It's these two hoping to take it. They Might Just Fit drivers hoping to get it off John Bailiff and his teammate Sam Van Alsten Nodaphone. But if John can score enough points tonight, he can take the charge and hold on to it. But it would be the second time Might Just Fit have won the teams championship, and they would be bookending the seasons in which they've won it, in seasons 1 and 4. So yeah, I'm intrigued by that, but again, still no repeat winners yet in any category, which is brilliant. This pains me to say it, but the only repeat winner that we've had actually has been my brother winning the Independence Championship and the Drivers' Championship. For a while he was the most successful driver in boring cars, but I think Jake takes that hat now with so many race wins, fastest laps and all sorts. Still, the only person to win more than one championship is Matt Draycott. Can you believe that?
I mean, yeah, we know Cranstone loves the Jettas. What was his rear bumper in the Sim Race Magazine GT4 Challenge? He's Jettas for breakfast, wasn't
He's
it?
Jettas
He's
for breakfast.
certainly been feasting for the past couple of seasons here. And, well, it's one final time for him to see if he can add a few more to his tally. At least a couple more with the 2 races on show tonight. And he's doing a very good job. 0.3 of a second faster than anybody else. Patrick Dopart comes into the pits.
There he is.
His qualifying session. Is he going to come out again? Yes, he is. Cranstone, though, he's looking pretty formidable at the moment. No one really close to him. Bailiff and Adams just out of reach as well. Close, actually, isn't it, to get onto the front row between Patrick Dopart and John Bailiff, around about 200ths rather of a second.
Minimal.
Very competitive for the front row, but well, no one can really lay a finger on Cranstone right now.
No, and this
has been the story of the season.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Jake has, I think, won all but one race 1 of the night all season, and even then he finished in 2nd place. Yeah, race 1 of the night, every single one this season, except Brands Hatch in the 3rd race meeting, was won by Jake. It was Morgan Burkhardt who took that one, winning both races on the night at Brands on the GP circuit. So Jake has almost had a clean sweep. He's very much like Norbert Kish in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, on which I'll be commentating this weekend from Circuit Zolder in Belgium. Norby has won races 1 and 3 on every single occasion this season in the championship, as he so often does. He puts it on pole in qualifying and then just drives away at the front. He is formidable and fantastic, and Jake has put in a Norbert Kish-like performance so far this season. He's going to be looking to lock that out with this first race of the night, and that's the great thing to see from Jake. You know, he's won the championship, he's got the number board on, he's got the banner on, he's showing it off, but he hasn't laid off the gas at all. He hasn't chilled out one bit. He's still going to go in and put his best in tonight to show everybody just how good he is, and I love that about Jake, because he's so humble about it. At the same time, you can't be mad at him for it, can you?
No, he's really lovely. He's, again, say it's annoyingly so, because you want him to be, well,
A knob.
a bit of a knob. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I was trying to find in my brain. A bit of a knob.
Yeah.
But no, he's so lovely, so sweet, very down to earth, very laid back, and we're yet to find a car that he's quick in. As well, Jetta's doing a little bit of drifting in the background.
That
Maybe
wasn't
flying
sweet,
there,
laid
Stephen
back or
Burns.
down to earth, was it, from Stephen Burns' flipping heck? That was. I don't know if we'll see that again from this, but that was no. It's a long way back. Unfortunately, we don't have an event on our software for that. That was absolutely fantastic, though. Very entertaining camera angle, but yeah, you can't be angry at Jake for how good he is, because he's just such a lovely guy. I'm excited to see what Patrick Dopart can do tonight, because for God's sake, the guy needs a result. He's 7th in the championship. He's had 4 podium finishes this season, but he's just not had a season to remember at all, to be honest. I mean, his 4 podiums were at race 1 at Alton Park, race 1 at Brands, race 1 at Donington, race 1 at Silverstone. But every time he's had a podium, it's been followed by either a 16th or a 13th place. So
It wasn't. Yeah, it was always the second race that never went well, and then he was on for a podium in that second race.
Yeah.
Last time out at Donington.
yeah,
And then it just all went to pot. He backed out because he was racing with Cranstone and selflessly rather, into
Yeah.
the sort of final chicane. Basically went straight on to avoid contact. That completely destroyed his own race and saw him fall out of podium places.
I think John Bailiff is just absolutely... Oh no, Kyle, you missed! Welcome to the British Boring Car Championship, everyone. Poor Andy Fox here. He moved out of the way, we saw it. He moved out of the way as soon as he completed his qualifying time. Look, nice and responsible, and John Bailiff thought, yeah, you know what, I've done my quality time and all. How are you, Andy? Good to see you. Absolutely smashes him, and then Kyle goes, I'll have a bit of that, and misses. Oh, that is an absolutely monumental accident for Kyle Ridley. And Jake's had one now. Jake's off the road. Reigning champion, or newly crowned champion anyway. Oh, he's just going to fling it into... Yeah, he's going to hit... Oh no, he knows where the camera is. Oh no. Isn't the Jetta brilliant? Oh.
I mean, I was going to say it's the end of the season. I don't need to prepare it. We've still got the next 2 races to get through yet.
Yeah.
Can't write them off just right now.
Fantastic though, isn't it? It's again, it's
brilliant.
just part of the fun. Stuart Clark said, I hope these cars have lights. It's getting pretty dark. They do indeed, mate. They do indeed. But wow, a feisty start tonight. Qualifying goes to 0, and Jake Cranstone makes it another pole position, almost decimating the entire championship. I think Morgan Burkhardt got pole back at Brands Hatch that time he won both races. We'll have to have a check on that. I think Jake might have 100%ed it. Either way, it's Cranstone on pole position, Patrick Dopart alongside him on the front row, with John Bailiff and Kyle Ridley making up row 2. Those 2 teams going head-to-head as well for the team's championship here this evening. Taylor Adams will start in 5th ahead of Stephen Burns in 6th place. Duncan Murray is 7th, and Togo Hisada is continuing his good run of form in 8th position. Then it's Eric Manenveld with Andy Fox completing the top 10 for Bordeaux. Ben Bennyworth will start in 11th place, and Stuart Clark will be in 12th in the dodgy MOT car. So, any predictions here, Ed? We've got an interesting shaped grid, and not a big grid either, so plenty of opportunity for people to score points. Do you think that will change their approach at all?
Well, it's the last day of school, really, isn't it? I think the entire rulebook's going to get thrown out the window, and they're going to go, well, foot to the floor and hard at it. Cranstone and Dopart, look out for them at the front. We know Patrick's going to be hungry for that top step. Missed out last time at Donington to the man starting on pole. I think there's a bit of unfinished business out in front.
We'll have to wait and see then, as now the grid will form up. Togo Hisada will be the last car to pop up onto the grid any moment now. He will be just in front of Andy Fox. Wait for it. You can hear the revs rising indeed as Stuart Clark continues to burn off fuel. Here's Togo. Whoop. And we will get the penultimate race ever in the British Boring Car Championship underway. Jake Cranstone, pole position once again, ahead of Patrick Dopart, John Bailiff and Kyle Ridley. 4 different teams in the top 4. And round 17 of Season 4 is go. And Cranstone, rather comically, drives all the way over to the right-hand side and almost drives into the wall. I don't know if he was just giving Barney a bit of a wave out of the window, but we are underway at Silverstone, and Cranstone leads us into turn 1 with Patrick Dopart trying to squeeze around the outside. It doesn't work for him there, and Bailiff has to slot in just behind. He doesn't quite get the run he would have wanted. Andy Fox there moving from right to left in the background with Eric Manintveld around him, but it's Cranstone, your newly crowned champion, at the very front. Is everyone going to keep the car under control into here? Yes, they are. John Bailiff, smacks off the side of Patrick Dopart. Kyle Ridley runs wide, so too does Taylor Adams. Dopart holds onto the position, but already that gives Jake Cranstone a couple of car lengths at the front. Everyone else in the background seems to have behaved themselves as well. Going on board now with Togo Hisada into the hairpin for the first time.
Relatively pedestrian start for the boring cars as they're all where they started off the line, but, well, there's going to be a change now as Kyle Ridley gets pitched into a spin under the brakes. I think he gets attacked from behind and that completely unsettles the car. Here we go.
It's Taylor Adams.
Taylor Adams, yeah.
Oh, wow. The two cars.
Through him.
Yeah, the car sort of went inside the other car, and as Taylor went over to the right, it flung Kyle one way, then the other. He won't be very happy about that. I know his teammate, isn't he? Throws it down the inside of Taylor, almost in a bit of a protest at his teammate. Contact in the background there, I think, between Duncan Murray and Togo Hisada. Duncan's had a fair share of contact this season. He's trying to get his elbows out one more time. Togo on the gravel just behind, side by side with Andy Fox. End of the first lap, though, Jake Cranstone leads the way by about 0.4 of a second. And the battles continue. Plenty of slipstreaming going on here at Silverstone, though, Ed. We've seen it before, haven't we, where this track, it keeps drivers close together all the way throughout the race.
Yeah, currently. It's been the main catalyst for change was that Kyle Ridley incident, but it's been pretty steady out in front. John Bailiff had a little look earlier on Patrick Dopart. Big impact to the side, actually. I want to know if it was just been running deep or if maybe it was Dopart just coming across onto the apex, not anticipating the car there. Either way, the end result is the same. They stay, well, the front three stay as they were. Cranstone broke away a little bit from Patrick Dopart, but that gap has now come back down to around about 3.5 of a second. Andy Fox, though, meanwhile, he's darting up the inside of Eric Manintveld. Lovely move under the brakes, but can he get the drive out of the corner as they make their way down through the bridge? He's going to have the inside line, but they're going to keep it going side by side. It's the great bit about this Silverstone circuit is that the battles in these Jettas carry on for multiple corners. Ooh, very nearly Manintveld got himself pitched around, nearly cut the nose off and cut his own race very short with Andy Fox, but thankfully for his sake carries on going, living to fight another lap.
Wow, that was the potential to be a monstrous accident there for Eric Manintveld. But like you say, he's able to fight another day. Jake Cranstone leads this race still ahead of Patrick Dopart. Patrick yet to have a race win this season, and I'm sure would love the opportunity to take one. But the one that he's got to beat is the man that has just taken the championship in the last race meeting. But a lovely shot back here in the sunset of Silverstone as the championship has the sun setting on it.
Beautiful shots. These Jettas. Look at Patrick really attacking the corners now. You can just see the attitude of the car is one of all-out attack. Really pushing hard to close the margin down to our race leader, who we go on board with now. And the gap slowly but surely winding its way closer. A little look, it's more just filling the mirrors more than anything else, I think, from Dopart. Not an actual attempt on the position. But it's just enough to maybe force Cranstone into some defensive manoeuvres. You see, obviously, probably towards the end of the race, the attacks will be more ferocious and start in more sort of an earnest fashion. But for now, I think they just sort of size themselves up. They often do, don't they, for the first maybe 10, 15 minutes. As I say that, ooh, Patrick Dopart, well, he's keeping Jake on his toes.
Yeah, it's certainly a little look there just to make Jake aware that that's the situation. And he's showing him that I'm not just going to sit behind you here and hold on to this.
So, yeah, I think there's a bit of impetus here about Dopart, but he's got John Bailiff right behind him. Taylor Adams is in the mix too. Taylor, to be honest, doesn't really need to force the issue here, but he would love another overall race victory. He took his first one at Alton Park earlier on in the season, and I know that he would love to beat these non-independent drivers. Being an independent in the British Boring Car Championship doesn't really mean much in terms of, you know, your on-paper performance, whereas back in the 90s in the real world touring cars, it was the ones that didn't have the factory support, so they naturally weren't as quick, the cars weren't as well developed. But here now it's just a different coloured number, and you get put into a different pot of drivers for a different championship, basically.
Yeah, it was especially more prevalent during sort of the super touring era, weren't there, when the manufacturers were pumping money in to their campaigns. Obviously now there's a little bit more sort of parity, aren't there, between the non-factory backed and the factory backed outfits in the BTCC, which is great to see, of course.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, I remember watching a documentary about Tim Harvey and some of the, I think it was Touring Car Legends, that was narrated by Tiffany Dell, of all people. And there was an interview with Tim Harvey on that. He said some of them were getting like 300 grand a year to do British Touring Car Championship, which is just mental. Like, absolutely mental. I think Dave Richards, who's now, is he not the chairman of Motorsport UK or something now? He was the head of the Ford team for a long time at ProDrive. And I think he was chairman of ProDrive or something. But either way, he said the 2000 Ford Mondeos that were incredibly dominant. I mean, they didn't have much of a field to dominate against, but against the Hondas and the Vauxhalls and the Nissans, you know, they were £1 million a car, those Ford Mondeos back then. And it was just such an untouchable car. Patrick Dopart is driving as if he's got one of them Fords. He has a little bit of a kiss there with Jake, and now that's actually going to cost him a place, as John Bailiff, for the second time this race, is on his inside and not quite sorting it out on the exit. It does also mean again that Jake has got a little bit of a buffer, and right now Andy Fox is right up behind Stephen Burns as well. Well, Ben Bennyworth has come into the pits, by the way. Not quite sure what's happened to Ben there, unfortunately, but he has come in. Kyle Ridley isn't too far off the back of Stuart Clark now either in this first race, so things could still change here.
So you could do. We'll keep an eye on it as it develops, but for now it does seem like Patrick Dopart is really putting that pressure on as we get through the midway point of this first race of the night. Little bit of a touch, bumper to bumper there, as Anton definitely covers off that inside line this time around. We saw him leaving the door wide open, but well, Patrick's had more than a couple of little looks. Now they go through Luffield. Dopart opened out the corner a lot more, so he should be able to carry more speed out. Could give him an opportunity now in towards Copse. Trying to go too wide through there. Well, we've seen it end in tears before. Find out if that's going to be the case here tonight. Dopart with, I thought, an overlap there just to the outside. He's going to have it this time. Oh, they're squeezing each other any way they can to get that slightest of advantage. Now though, out of the corner, does Dopart have the momentum? No, we're going to have to dip into the slipstream once more, opting for what is going to be first the inside, then the outside. Backing out of it, trying to find any way through, but Jake's putting his car in all the right spots to try and keep them behind. Meanwhile, Adams and Bailiff were going at it side by side. Taylor tried to, I think, take advantage of, obviously, the squabbling up in front that slowed John off just a touch, but couldn't quite make it stick. Now, though, here we go. Going to be another move, opting around the outside, under the brakes, a little bit of touching. I think that unsettles the car when they get onto the brakes, which is what I think probably prevents Patrick from making it stick all the way around the outside. You just see a little bit of contact, don't you, side to side, Chaz, and then the car has a sort of slight little vibration, a little wiggle, and that I think probably causes Dopart enough cause for concern to back out.
Yeah, there used to be a cheat code on the Tucker Touring Cars 2 game called B Castle, meaning bouncy castle. And it was the case that every time you touched another car or touched a barrier or something, you bounced off it really aggressively. And it's as if the Jetta has got that sort of hidden in its code somewhere, because every so often, if you do get wheel-to-wheel contact, these cars will ricochet off one another. A lot of the time you can lean on each car and be alright, and that's what, you know, part of the appeal is of racing these things so closely. But, you know, this is becoming... Oh, Jake's just glanced the wall there. And this is becoming a 20-minute defensive masterclass by Jake Cranstone. He's really having to work for this, but there's not one car all the way back to 9th place now that's more than half a second off the car in front of it. Look at it. This is why we love the British Boring Car Championship, because this is just what it's like. It's like watching Legends racing, but in massive takeaway driving saloons. 3 for the lead with an overlap here. And Dopart finally makes it side by side on the exit of the corner here with Cranstone on his right. This is going to be focusing all the way down to the hairpin. Now we'll go on board with Taylor Adams because he's going to have the best view. Although he's got Duncan Murray behind him, and I reckon Duncan will want a bit of this. Bailiff puts his nose where it's not wanted. Oh, dearie me, Ed. This could all end in tears.
Yeah, I was going to say for the first time tonight, Dopart leads, but only just. And then there's contact on the exit of the corner. Both of the drivers have to get into the race. Cranstone and Dopart now dropping through the field as Bailiff and Adams are going to try and pass them by. Adams to the inside of Cranstone. Bailiff's already got that move made. Cranstone's fighting it back though. He doesn't want to give it up easily, and he's going to see if he can slot back up into that second place. First is out of the question. Bailiff really did take advantage and pounced when the opportunity presented itself to him. Through Brooklands they go, side by side. Cranstone now to the outside. Adams on the in. Look at that, really pushing it hard into the corner. Who's that in the inside? Andy Fox, I think, doing a little bit of, well, grass lawn maintenance there.
Oh no,
There's
big drama.
Big coming together on the exit of the corner. Fox once more involved. Patrick Dopart too. His race just goes from bad to worse.
Of course.
Deary me.
Of course it's Dopart, of all people. The poor bloke. He'd lost all those places with this. The battle was still going on up ahead. Sam Van Olst watching from his holiday. Hope you're having a great time, Sam. Down the inside goes Patrick Dopart. A little bit of a kiss there on Andy Fox. He remains on the inside. Has to straighten up a little bit. Where's Andy? Where is Andy? Oh, he's there. Oh, he's bounced off the front of him. And then Patrick's then tried to get back underneath him, and Andy's still got him there. They're going to get locked together. Yep. And then Manintveld hits Foxy as well. Oh, it all got a bit messy there, didn't it? Unfortunately.
Thankfully for Dopart, he can come into the pits, and if he gets back out and running, he's going to be in 10th place, which is, well, the reverse grid pole position. So he's still got a second shot at this race, or at this evening, rather.
Well, yeah, very fair point. That's the thing with the smaller grid, though. You know, there's more chance of scoring points. There's more chance of benefiting from that reverse grid as Duncan Murray with a very, very big send up the inside of Stephen Burns. We've seen that Duncan is a no prisoners sort of guy in this championship, and that was definite proof of it. He wants to score as many points as he can for the team's championship, obviously trying to get the better of this man and his teammate John Bailiff. Sam says he's going to drive away now at the front of the field. We'll wait and see, because this circuit really lends itself to slipstreaming. Patrick Dopart is back out on track. He's just come back out of the pit lane, which is great to see. Cameraman nearly falls over as John Bailiff leads here at Silverstone. And just looking at the points, actually, John hasn't won a race this season. Neither has Sam Van Olst. They're the only two drivers in the top 5 of the championship that haven't won a race so far this season, and that makes it even more impressive that they're actually leading the team's championship without a single race win between them. Duncan Murray just went a little bit hot into Maggots and Beckett's there, but manages to catch it on the exit. But yeah, great stuff by Nodaphone to lead the team's championship. Sam Van Olst saying it's generational talent.
We'll see if it'll last here tonight. Obviously, look at this now. Adams cutting up the inside hard on the brakes. Is he going to overshoot? Yes, he does.
John Bailiff.
That was
That's
beautiful.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting by John Bailiff. That is delightful to watch. We're going to watch it again. Cranstone, we'll see this from his on board. Taylor Adams, that was so exuberant on the brakes. That was a John Bailiff-esque move, that. Look at him go, and John says, no, you know, I'm going to straighten up, stamp on it, tuck underneath. Doesn't actually show it off very well on that angle, does it? But, oh, that was so pretty. So pretty by John Bailiff.
Jetta. Peak Jetta racing right here for the final race. Well, the final race meeting, rather, of the Formula 1 or Boring Car World Championship. Oh, look at that. Judges the distance front to rear perfectly.
Fantastic.
Oh, that is amazing. Now, though, well, he's got a different customer behind him now, Bailiff, to worry about. That's Cranstone. Good luck for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, with no disrespect to John, good luck. That's all we can say. Cranstone knows when to put the car in the right place at the right time, and he knows how to overtake. He's an absolute genius at it in these cars. You know, he's so good at what he does. Patrick Dopart, by the way, is 12 seconds behind Andy Fox. So Andy is currently on for reverse grid pole, so even then it's not going Dopart's way. He's got to be the unluckiest driver in British Touring Car Championship, because he's just never, ever had the luck on his side. Right now, though, Cranstone needs a little bit of luck to get past John Bailiff, because he's going to have to work hard here. John's going to defend like his life depends on it. Jake has gone way too hot into the hairpin, but he's going to hope to get a run on the exit. They're 3 wide, though. Ooh, dearie me. Taylor Adams got lucky there, but he's going to be fed up of looking at theoretical Vauxhalls by the end of this, isn't he?
Yes, it's going to be, well, very tiring for Taylor Adams after thinking he's in position for race lead numerous times, and then, you know, one thing or another seems to be getting in the way. Right now, it's 2 Jettas in the way, Cranstone and Bailiff. But I thought for a moment he was going to try on Jake. He's just, you can see he's kind of moving around, just trying to find the spaces, the gap. It's almost like he's in a wet race trying to find the grip, but instead he's looking to see where the other cars are slow, where he can press his advantage. We know he's the quickest driver around the circuit right now. His pole position of, well, nearly 3 tenths faster than anyone else proves that. It's just about being able to convert that now and seeing if he can find a way past John. And to be fair to him, he's having a great defensive drive right now.
Yeah, John doing everything he needs to do. And when you look at it like this, it looks like a lovely Sunday drive. Well, Wednesday drive. Hop, skip and a jump over the curbs. Manage the amount of lock you put on. Great. But then you look back and you realise he's got the rabble attached to the back of him. He must have one hell of a strong tow hook on that Jetta. Now Cranstone wants to go to the right. He's going to just slice across to the left. He's going to keep John over on the right here, and then he's going to try and go in as deep as he can to V off the corner again, but he wants to try and do that without Taylor Adams getting there. Jake has managed to get alongside somehow there. John's not giving him enough room, though, and he's going to do the same again, I think, here. He's going to squeeze him to the left-hand side. Side by side they go. Jake's got this down the inside if he can carry the pace through bridge and keep it tidy. It's going to be on the inside line for the next 2 corners. It's a well set up move by Jake Cranstone, and he might have this in the bag. The newly crowned champion goes back to the front, or does he? What about Bailiff's speed around the outside? He's still got his nose there. Oh, this is brilliant racing, though, by these two. They've got 2.5 minutes left to go. It's about 1.5 minutes for a lap. Hopefully they don't get stuck together at any point, but this is fantastic racing. John Bailiff still in the lead somehow with about a cigarette paper between the pair of them. And Taylor Adams all this time is just going to be laughing. I think Duncan Murray's in quite a comfortable place. But look at that, kissing wing mirrors down towards turn 1.
Yeah, nothing between them as they come to the line. Not the photo finish yet. We've still got 2 minutes to go. This is, well, 2 laps now. This lap and 1 more. No white flag being waved just yet to greet Bailiff and let him know that his job is nearly done. Once more, been side by side for, well, the best part of a lap here is Cranstone. Little tiny touch, sends him out wide, drops him back now into 3rd place, battling with Taylor Adams, and that's going to send him even further back. No, he isn't. He's still going. How has he kept that momentum?
How has he stayed in 2nd place throughout all of that? That's just disgusting. That's fantastic commitment by Jake Cranstone. Again, I have to compare him to Norbert Kish. We saw that a few weeks ago at Most in Czechia with Norbert Kish. He had contact, he was off the road on the gravel, and he still managed to carry enough speed around the outside in the gravel to get back on the track and fight with the driver he was originally fighting with. It's unbelievable. Manintveld and Hertogo Hisada are side by side at the back of this, but sorry gents, this is what we need to keep our eye on, because we need to figure out the team's championship in a minute. John Bailiff so brave to cut across the front there. That is massive, massive bravery from John Bailiff, and great commitment to cut back across the front of Jake. Jake knew he was going to do it. This is unbelievable. They might be communicating with each other in the Discord, because they do it very often, drive together while all talking in the Discord. We've got 1 lap to go here.
I don't think any amount of communication would be able to choreograph that. That was just Bailiff acting on instinct and Cranstone not quite having enough of an overlap to make John sweat. Now, though, in towards for the final time in this first race, we're going to see Cranstone look to the inside. He's forced Bailiff into an uncompromising position, and now he's been shoved out wide off the road, and now it's Taylor Adams going to take advantage. He's into the lead just ahead of Cranstone.
Taylor Adams gets his nose in front, and as a result, I think John knew what was happening, and he still just didn't give enough room. He wanted to try and tuck the car in, and Jake was there. That could give a massive team championship advantage to Might Just Fit. It might also give Taylor Adams his second win of the season. Jake says, no, thank you. I'm going to go on the left-hand side. I want that lead back. I've inherited it. And already he's in front. But will Taylor be brave enough on the brakes this time round? Suddenly John Bailiff finds himself fighting with Togo Hisada. Is Taylor good enough on the brakes this time round? Oh, you can see him fighting with the wheel. He's still on it, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, when is he not on it? Jake now with the outside line, but that will soon become the inside as long as he can keep the momentum down under bridge. Here we go. Taylor Adams and Cranstone battling it out. How many times have we said this before? Well, we're going to have a few more times here tonight, I'm sure, as now they go once more side by side. Taylor doing everything he can. He's got just enough of an overlap. Can he keep that momentum all the way around the outside to then get the inside for Luffield? No, Cranstone, he's sealed the victory with only one corner to go.
And Duncan Murray might make this a 1-2 as well. He's putting his nose down the inside. Taylor needs to be careful here. Slices across the front of it. But that is a champion's drive by Jake Cranstone, who takes all but one of every first race this season. Cranstone wins it. Adams second. Murray third. Fantastic race. Stephen Burns fourth. Eric Manintveld next up. John Bailiff, Togo Hisada, Kyle Ridley, Stuart Clark. Good God. It's kicking off there. Bailiff and Burns are having... Oh my God.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Ridley's ended up in the grandstands. Wow. Andy Fox is still on the road. Adams wins in the independents, by the way. Very well done to him. Wow, that was, like you said there, Ed, halfway through that race. That is peak Jetta racing right there. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Out on a high, and we've still got one more race to go. The reverse grid, 25 minutes of Jettas to look forward to, but I'll tell you what, that last 20, that was absolutely amazing. Start to finish. They sized each other up, didn't they? We saw Cranstone and Dopart trading blows here and there, and then all of a sudden, for the last 10 minutes, it just erupted.
Yeah, that was
the best way to describe it. It was just brilliant, non-stop.
Insane, absolutely insane. And with that, Might Just Fit now have a 15-point lead in the team's championship, as Andy Fox is about to put this car out of commission for the end of this race. Patrick Dopart has crossed the line and will understandably not be too pleased with that result. Tell you who will be happy though is Duncan Murray. An overall podium for him. I'm just checking how many of those he's had. That's his first overall podium of the season. His best result was the 4th place at Alton Park earlier on in the championship, and now he's got an overall podium to his name. Cranstone wins another first race of the night. An epic drive from him once again. He takes that one from Taylor Adams, who obviously gets a win in the independents, and with it definitely seals the independent championship. Very well done to Taylor. It was then Duncan Murray completing the podium ahead of Stephen Burns. Eric Manintveld next up in second in the independents as well. John Bailiff ended up 6th after that contact. Togo Hisada 7th. Another strong drive from Togo. 1.6 seconds, by the way, covered all of them guys. Kyle Ridley was 8th, a good recovery. Stuart Clark 9th. Andy Fox will be on pole position for race 2. Patrick Dopart and Ben Bennyworth complete the field on this one. Just having a look at those results as well, just to try and add up some team championship points. Stephen Burns and Kyle Ridley were 4th and 8th, which gives them 20 points in that one. Ericsson Hitters was Patrick Dopart, and in 11th place you get 5 points for that dodgy MOT, with Stuart Clark in 9th would give him 7 championship points. So I'll do a bit of maths in the meantime. Ed and I are just going to go for a quick break here on Chaz Draycott Media. Hopefully some cars will head out on track, and we'll be with you in just a moment's time. Do not go anywhere, because you are about to see the final ever race in the British Touring Car Championship. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott and Ed May here for the final ever race meeting of the British Boring Car Championship. A quick word for our championship sponsors. A massive thank you to Abruzzi, Derbyshire Holiday Homes and Orris Digital. You'll see all of their logos all over the championship branding on the points and on the broadcast, obviously in the top corners as well. You'll see their logos cycling through. A lot of them have been big supporters of Chaz Draycott Media for a long time now in multiple series. In fact, all three of them have, and I'm overly grateful. Well, no, not even overly. I am massively grateful to have them as sponsors and partners and supporters of what we do here. And you should check out all of their products and what they do as well. Orris Digital do a massive amount of analytics and online marketing. Wonderful, wonderful people. And then, of course, Derbyshire Holiday Homes, our good friend Drew Fletcher and his wonderful wife V. They have their fantastic holiday homes in the centre of the UK. Gorgeous places to go. And obviously Abruzzi as well. I'm sure a number of you already know of Abruzzi with their hardware sales. Many brands under their names. Popular sponsors and partners of one Jimmy Broadbent as well, who I'm not sure if all of you have seen, but he's bought himself a very lovely car in the last week after he sold his Praga, I believe, Goldie, that won him his first championship. It was one of those things where at the end of the day he didn't have much of a need to hold on to it. I think he used it for time attack, but you know the costs of it were a bit more than it was worth, so he sold that and bought himself a lovely silver Italian thing, didn't he, Ed?
Yeah, beautiful Ferrari. I think it was the 430, wasn't it, that he ended up...
360.
360, was it? 360. Oh,
classic.
430 would have been my choice personally,
Yeah.
but 360.
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy.
Not a bad bit of kit, really, is it?
No,
Me
no.
sitting here with my zero car, you know. Fair enough.
No, I agree though. I think the 430, they always call it the baby-faced Ferrari, don't they? And I think, it definitely is the case. It's such a gorgeous car, the 430. But even still, you know, the 360, it's a modern classic now. An absolutely gorgeous car. The 360 Challenge cars still look like modern race cars. You know, they are epic bits of kit. And hats off to Jimmy. And, you know, it's so lovely to see how much he's achieved and how far he's come. You know, it really is wonderful, and his story just continues. It continues to get better and better. Oh, I nearly missed. Andy nearly avoided him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to say he's probably the first person that lived in a shed that now owns a Ferrari.
That's probably, you're probably right, actually, yeah.
Don't think there's many people that can say that they've lived in a shed and also that they now own a Ferrari.
That's very true. Very true. With, you know, a couple of UK racing championships under your belt and a regular drive in the Nürburgring Endurance Series. It's incredible. Incredible story, bless him. And you know, he's still a humble and lovely bloke at heart. I was grateful enough to see him at the Purple Sectors charity event last year when we had an amazing list of people. I'm not going to go name dropping all night, but it was lovely to see that Jimmy was, you know, still his humorous and modest self. Fantastic to see. Anyway, enough wax lyrical about Jimmy Broadbent. The sun is setting here at Silverstone. As you can see, there's a lot of humidity in the air. And we're about to have the final ever race in the British Boring Car Championship. Sam Van Olst is claiming sabotage in the Discord. But this... Well, I'm not going to say I'm sad, because it's one of those things, you know, don't be sad it's over, smile because it's happened and all that cringe. But this is going to be a momentous race, I think, for the British Boring Car Championship, and hopefully the guys behave themselves. It's Andy Fox and Stuart Clark on the front row, with Kyle Ridley and Togo Hisada on row 2. John Bailiff and Eric Mannenveld next up, with Stephen Burns and Duncan Murray. Taylor Adams and Jake Cranstone make up the 5th row of the grid. Patrick Dopart, for the second race in a row, starts one place behind Jake, but not in a way that he would have liked. Ben Bennyworth has apparently just set the fastest lap of the race, despite being sat on the grid. Let's have a look then, as the revs will rise here at Silverstone. We're about to get the last ever race of the British Boring Car Championship underway. Any thoughts on this one, Ed? It's a mixed grid. This could be anyone's, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking more for 10th and 11th. It's basically a repeat of the front row, isn't it? The first race, Jake Cranstone and Patrick Dopart. We said there's unfinished business in the first race. Well, there's going to be that and more in this second one.
25 minutes underway now, and the final ever race in the British Touring Car Championship here on Chaz Draycott Media has set off down the road, and it's Andy Fox in the golden, not quite Peugeot that leads us into Copse. Kyle Ridley and Stuart Clark have already swapped places for second and third. Togo Hisada holding on to the inside line in the Arena International Independent entry. Murray and Cranstone side by side in the background with Taylor Adams in the mix as well. Cranstone has already gained one place to start this race. It's nice and close in the middle there. John Bailiff and Eric Manintveld side by side. Kizzy Wingwer is on the way through. Dopart's off the road. Hisada is sideways as John Bailiff clips him. Eric Manintveld is involved as well. Jake Cranstone's having more and more contact. Goodness me, last day of school, gents, or what? Cranstone all the way over to the right gives Eric another warning shot as now Stephen Burns is in the mix. Kyle Ridley as well. God, look at this lot already, Ed. They're already going at it.
Oh, this is going to be a very short race for some of these drivers if they keep it up at the rate they are going. Again, last day of school, they know they don't need to have these Jettas in one piece for the remainder of the season.
It's like the Red Arrows.
Really a concern for him anyway, but look at that. Noah's Ark, isn't it? 2 by 2 by 2 they go. And well, great start, isn't it, for Cranstone? Already at 4 places.
Yeah, somehow out of all of it, Cranstone has gained 4 spots. He's just, no matter how much drama goes on, he will always gain places. It's I'm at him incredibly irritating for everyone else around him. But still, Foxy leads, Kyle Ridley second, then it's Stuart Clark ahead of John Bailiff. John wants to claw back some points for his team here tonight. Kyle Ridley is the driver I'm surprised hasn't won a race this season. He's always up near the front. Andy Fox has not taken a win either. He got a podium in race 2 at Alton Park, which I remember. Very, very good race for Andy, that one. Survived all of the mayhem and all the attrition that went on around him. We've got Togo Hisada having to defend from Jake Cranstone already. The newly crowned champion is just trying to scythe his way through after all that opening lap drama. I think it was, he went into the side of Manintveld after a 3-wide scenario because Stephen Burns was in there as well. It all got a little bit higgledy-piggledy on the way in. Let's look at that. The car is hopping, skipping, jumping. John Bailiff and Stuart Clark have just had a massive old whack up in front. I think John put his nose down the inside and Stuart didn't know how much room to give. But the two of them have remained on the circuit and carry on. Hisada is now under pressure. He's leading the independents here, but he doesn't want Cranstone to get past because that opens it up to Adams. Like that.
There we go. Adams. Pour it through as well behind Togo Hisada. That's the thing for Togo, is that he's kind of just been shuffled down through the pack now. He's just about actually managed to sort himself out and get slotted in ahead of Taylor Adams. This is Stuart Clark and John Bailiff going at it, and then look who gets in the mix.
I think there was a tap there from Cranstone as Dopart's off again. Back on the road, back up behind Stephen Burns. I think as Cranstone got past Clark, I think there was a little tap here. Let's just have a look. Bailiff is squeezing Stuart all the way over. Maybe not happy about the earlier contact, but I think Jake goes to go down the inside and just taps the back of Stuart's car. Yeah, it just gives him a little nudge there. Doesn't make a noise or anything, but it just sort of hops Stuart's car forward. Togo Hisada now back in the mix once again with Stuart right up behind him. Still trying to hold on in the lead of the independents. But lovely scenes here as the sun sets in the low light here at Silverstone. The leaders are fighting away. It's Andy Fox and Kyle Ridley up the road. These two won't want to really slow down and let anyone else get involved in this. They're going to want to break away. That's what I think Kyle's focusing on. But they've got John Bailiff and Jake Cranstone, two of the drivers who were battling over the race win in the first race, bearing down on them very quickly.
Yeah, Andy Fox is, well, he's going to hopefully, for his sake, break away from Kyle Ridley and let Kyle do all the battling. But
yeah,
I'm not sure how likely that's going to be, because Kyle's probably going to try and think the same. Get ahead of Andy before Jake catches up.
That's the thing. It's almost this inevitability of Drake. God, I can't say his name now. Jake Cranstone catching up to you. It's just like, what can we do before he gets here? It's sort of like, can we clean the house before Mum gets home? You know, just has to crack on while Jake isn't around. I just have flashbacks.
Take the chicken out the freezer about 6 hours ago. It's now an hour before she gets home. How well can the hairdryers work?
Well, put it in the microwave for a few minutes and just pretend, so it then goes cold again before you have to. Anyway, still the whole field right now is separated by about 5 seconds. Ben Bennyworth has unfortunately dropped off a little bit here. He's not really gelling with this circuit here tonight. I think it was the same for him earlier in the season as well. I don't remember him having a particularly enjoyable time last time we were at Silverstone. No, he had a DNF and a 13th place, and well, he's going to have the same here actually. He's got a DNF and he's 12th, so similar nights for him at Silverstone. Bailiff and Cranstone both running wide, all the grass being flicked up in our faces. We need to keep an eye on the teams championship though, Ed, but to be honest, looking at it from what we saw earlier, with John Bailiff now in 3rd position, scoring 13 points for Vodafone. I mean, Jake scoring 12 anyway is going to secure the championship for Might Just Fit. And then you've got to think about the fact that Duncan Murray is in 8th. That's another 8 points. So even then they're getting away by 7 points from Vodafone. Oh no!
Andy Fox, that's a desperate move, isn't it? Up the inside, trying to retain the lead. But Kyle Ridley, that's given him a bit more of a buffer because Fox is slow out of the corner. Bailiff and Cranstone. Bailiff's doing a great job yet again, having to defend from Jake Cranstone. He's probably going to be sick of seeing that Might Just Fit Jetta in his rearview mirrors.
Yeah, Modem 1.
Yeah. He absolutely ball to the back of his teeth with it. But he's doing a great job at defending, and actually as well, not letting Andy Fox or Carl Ripley break away. If anything, he's actually been reeling them in. Our last lap, it was around 0.3 of a second. We'll see what it is this time by, probably a lot more, considering, well, we can see them right there, and they had that coming together.
Don't do it, Stephen. Oh, that's close. Right, lap times, please. There we go. There's lap times, there's gaps. 4 seconds, the whole field. Dopart with the fastest lap of the race from 11th position. Last, effectively, with Bennyworth seemingly out of this race again. It's a big shame for Ben. He's really not had a good night tonight. Maybe just deciding that, you know, he may as well just go and chill out for a bit rather than stressing himself out trying to get the car around. But the battles are raging here, Ed, and there's still 18 minutes left. Goodness me, that was close.
Isn't it, Justin? It's going to keep on going now as Cranstone. He's got enough of a momentum shift and a drive to get ahead pretty much completely into the braking zone. There's nothing that John can do in way of reply. Too far back to send a move up the inside, so yeah, Cranstone securing, securing 3rd place. He's actually going to be going for 2nd now as Kyle Ridley slow out of the corner. What's happened there between himself and Andy Fox?
I really don't know, actually. They didn't swap places or anything that corner round, so I've not got a clue, to be utterly honest with you. I think Jake is going to try and deliver us a champion's performance here. He won both races back at Donington Park a week ago, and he's going to try and do the same again here at Silverstone now, not just to round out his season, but to round out the British Boring Car Championship. And he's going to say, look, I'm the master in these cars, mate. Don't try and hold a candle to me. As now the guys all get into the slipstream. Andy Fox doing a good job at leading this race, but you've got to think, with Cranstone leading this train now and getting a little bit of assistance from the push behind, it's likely that he will be the one to spearhead an attack to catch up as Bailiff puts his nose down the inside. He's got no fear in doing that as John, has he? But I don't know where he expects people to go.
Yeah, it's... Well, they expect him to not go past him, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think that's the I think end goal for John. Well, Jake Cranstone, his end goal is 1st place, but he's got a 2nd to try and make up now to Andy Fox. 16 seconds to go. Well, we know that Cranstone's got the pace to make up that margin, but now it's going to be Andy Fox's turn to try and defend for what will likely be the next 15 minutes or so. Duncan Murray, we go aboard with. He's trying to attack Taylor Adams.
Oh, God.
Well, he's going to get more than a hit, getting 2 hits for his troubles from Eric Rannenfeld, who has very little sympathy and carries on, does not return the position.
Miles away as well. Then again, oh no, he didn't get it stopped for the apex. And Duncan, I think, tried to put full right lock on to save it, and then, yeah, ended up driving back into the side of him. Manningveld's got a black flag. Manningveld hitting the incident limit already after 10 minutes. That shows you that it's not that severe. And now we'll have to come down the pit lane. I was going to say it'll be interesting now because Manningveld is up behind Adams and Hisada for the independent lead as Dopart and Burns lean on each other. Goodness me. Cranstone ahead of Foxy. How? How's he done it already? Oh, someone put 100 kilos. Someone put 100 kilos in that Jetta. Foxy and Ridley becoming friends again on the exit.
And suddenly Cranstone's got 2 car lengths. It's... How? Just... someone stop him. I love Jake, but Jesus.
Well,
Even there, like, how's... It's like he's
going
got...
to win 4 races on the bounce now.
Oh,
'cause he won
don't.
both of them.
He did. He
at
did.
Donington.
Oh,
He's
goodness
going
me.
to just dominate the last 2 race meetings of the season. I mean, it's poetic in a way that he's the most winningest driver in Jettas, and he's going to seal the championship with a win himself.
Poor Andy Fox losing 3 places in one go. John Bailiff goes past Togo Hisada like a missile down the inside, and Adams goes, well, the door's open. Togo Hisada puts his back down the inside of John Bailiff. It's not welcome there. Adams now finds himself on the inside. This is for the independent lead, by the way. Taylor Adams has clinched the Independents Championship as they still remain side by side going into the hairpin. This is just brilliant racing once again by these guys. Epic entertainment all the way through. And Adams around the outside, committed as you like. Hisada says, no, you don't. Slides him around the last corner, stays glued to that rear bumper. And he's trying to force the issue as now they go down towards turn 1 once again. This is great stuff though, isn't it? Fantastic entertainment.
It is, well, box office stuff, I think it's fair to say. So then Togo throwing it into the corner. Little disregard for the tyres. Well, you don't keep them after you're done, so you may as well use all the grip and then some.
Very much so.
Cranstone, after getting into the lead, has not broken away like we thought.
No, and
Ridley
Kyle...
sticking with him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, isn't he, Kyle? He's sticking nice and close to the not quite Vauxhall ahead of him. Like I say, the slipstream, you know, I'm not saying this is all it's down to for Kyle, but look at the slipstream there. It really does keep these guys together. And, I mean, we've seen it all along since a lot of these guys joined from the Racing Line Jetta TDI Cup in Season 3, that the level between these lot is remarkably close. Jake is just that 1% above, I'd say, I'd safely say. But the level is so close between all these guys that joined in that previous season that you never know, you know. All it takes is a bit of slipstream and they will be very similar on pace. It's just, I think Jake just has a way of getting out of the corner that these guys just can't always match, you know. Just always seems to have it so under control. Looks like a good wild ride to drive, doesn't it? As more drama. Duncan Murray and Patrick Dopart. Stephen Burns is now rattling off it all. Stuart Clark is involved in it. I think Duncan is... he's not making many friends here, is Duncan, is he?
Yeah, certainly not the most popular of drivers right now. At least in terms of just being involved in incidents.
Oh. Where's Stephen Burns gone? Has Stephen Burns disconnected?
He's been... I think,
Oh, he's there, he's there. He just appeared back. I think it's his connection. Look, watch.
Yeah, connection dropped due to download packet loss apparently.
Oh, so he's properly gone.
Yeah, properly
Oh,
gone. That's
no
him
way.
out of the race session because obviously I'm able to look into the basically iRacing in-house overlay and see.
Oh, the new
some things
overlay.
that we don't get to see. Yeah, the new overlay.
It's very pretty.
weird.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, as much
I'm
as
not
the other
used
one
to
was
it.
very ugly, I need to get used to all the cameras and stuff again now. I was fiddling with them before the broadcast, and I just don't like it because it's different to what I've used for the last 10 years. So it's weird. It's really
It's the
weird.
same with the UI, the beta, which is now just the standard UI for iRacing. When that was first brought out, was actually when I started on iRacing, so I was used to it and I thought it was fine. Everyone that I spoke to was like, ugh,
Yeah,
it's gross, it's yucky, don't
it's
like
not.
it.
It doesn't look like it's from 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and that was very much the thing, you know, iRacing stuff, especially with their camera tool and all that, it was always very functional, and it still is. It's one of the best camera tools in all of sim racing because you get access to the numbers, so you can replicate stuff time after time by just putting numbers back in. It's just brilliant, honestly. I cannot praise iRacing's cameras enough, but it's the fact that all the information's there, it's just laid out slightly differently, and you have to click a few more options to get to stuff now. So while it has always been functional, it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world in the past, and now it's pretty as well. But I don't know.
still 10 minutes left here in the British Boring Car Championship. The headlights will be on soon, I'm sure. Just checking the conditions. It's now 7:45 in the sim, and as you can see, the sun is very much setting on Silverstone. A lot of humidity in the air still, though. It's quite a gloomy evening, but it's a lovely metaphor for what is the end of this championship as Chaz goes to the wrong camera. And now Jake Cranstone, who is your newly crowned champion, has to hold off Kyle Ridley, John Bailiff and Taylor Adams. If I remember rightly, well, other than Sam Van Olst and Stephen Burns, these are the guys that were next up in the championship as well, so great mix between these lot. But Jake still somehow at the front of it, as he always is.
It's shaping up to be actually a much more exciting battle for the lead than I think we were expecting, because, well, Jake Cranstone not able to break away, and Kyle Ridley's piling on the pressure, just trying to find any way past. Nice exit as well, actually, out of Luffield. Could be a move being sized up in towards Copse. Let's see if there is any way through for Kyle. He's going to have a little overlap if he's going to go for it.
He's going to drive into the wall as well.
Yeah. Wide line taken, trying to carry the momentum out of the corner, not going to work. John Bailiff, he's going to probably fancy a move instead. Sees that Kyle Ridley made, well, a little bit of a mess of the previous corner. Well, has to go defensive this time by, but manages to withstand the pressure and once more set his sights on Cranstone just up ahead.
Yeah, Jake. Oh, Duncan Murray with a black flag. Duncan Murray. Oh, he's having to come through the pit lane with a drive-through penalty. Seems like the extra 5 minutes just adds a little bit more spice to it all, doesn't it?
I mean, there's always some spice here. There's never a dull moment really in these Jettas, but I think as we get into the final 8 minutes, it looks more like Jake Cranstone's kind of gotten the measure of Kyle in terms of his attacks. He's never really had to defend too hard, just puts his car in the right places and, well, lets Ridley try and figure it all out. And I think sooner rather than later John Bailiff is going to, well, fancy making an attack on Kyle himself, as long as he can, well, keep Taylor off of him. So
I was going to say, yeah, Taylor's probably the one to keep an eye on, isn't he? Because he could push this group from the back. He's got the pace to do it.
He's definitely does, but I'm not sure if time is necessarily on his side. Usually you've seen around here it takes a couple of laps to actually make a position stick around here. There you go, side by side for the best part of a lap when they try and overtake one another. So when they try and figure each other out. Taylor Adams now, great run on John Bailiff, but can't really get alongside enough once they go onto the brakes for this complex. Instead of braking a little bit earlier to carry momentum through the corner on the way out. Bailiff himself actually had a great run through there and has closed up to the back of Ridley. All of them sort of concertina together, and the slipstream kind of neutralises it. You can see Taylor Adams perfectly positioned to try and gain on Bailiff, but Bailiff himself is gaining on Ridley, who himself is gaining on Cranstone. Completely neutralises any advantage that Taylor might try and gain.
Yeah, I think it's a battle that could erupt at any moment, but there's such a deadlock on at the moment. That's why I wanted to stay on board with Taylor Adams for a moment here, just to show you the deadlock in pace. You know, even with the slipstream affecting these three cars behind Jake, all that's doing is really keeping them together. It's not giving them an opportunity to just breeze by as if it's some overactive DRS or anything like that. You know, the guys are just having to push so hard just to keep with Jake in the slipstream. A little bit of a wobble there from Taylor, the car not giving him what he wanted. He's still leading the way in the independents in this race and ahead of Togo Hisada, of course, so that's all important for Taylor to take 2 independent wins tonight and win that championship. He has already done so, actually, with the fact that JB Masida, unfortunately, unable to make this last round. Ferran Grau also unable to make it. Aaron Smith not here either. There's been a few drivers that have been great stalwarts of the series that unfortunately were unable to make it, but Cranstone still in the lead here, Ed. Still looking at that Team Jane Fonda car.
I mean, it's where we've been looking for most of the race, isn't it? This Jane Fonda car. Cranstone, he's been right up there battling. He's never had an easy time of things, despite how he often makes it look it out ahead. Such is his ability to manage these Jettas, to pilot them to perfection. Now, like you mentioned, for now, he's just going to try and keep Kyle busy, defending the inside. Great runs out of the corner as well, which is impressive when he's not really taking the most optimum line into the corner most of the time.
No, it's weird, isn't it? That's I think what impresses me the most is that Jake always doesn't have to take the most optimal line in and out of the corner. No matter what, he just still gets a good run, just like anyone else. Taylor is really killing these front tyres here. He's pushing so hard to make them work. Unfortunately, the field a little bit back has sort of spread out from, well, for boring car standards, there's about 3 to 5 seconds between a bunch of them. So the top 4 is what we've got to stick with at the moment. Back on board, you can see the massive crowd out here to see these Jettas here at Silverstone. It's lovely to have everyone out here. It's a monstrous crowd. I mean, I'd expect a crowd like that to watch a load of these lunatics throw Jettas around like this. But Jake, I don't know what that move was there, but he was sort of throwing the car to the inside. I don't know what sort of point he was proving, but it seemed weird, didn't it? Still, two or three laps to go.
Yeah, not long remains in what has been a brilliant final season of British boring car action. Cranstone here, though. He's going to need to defend for 3.5 more minutes. Kyle Ridley, he's got a great run this time. Is this the moment that we see the Jane Fonda car go into the lead of the race here? For, well, it hasn't been the first time this race, but the first time against Jake Cranstone. Round the outside, can he keep the momentum going through?
Oh,
the punch and the drive off the corner, brilliant stuff. Is he going to be clear as he goes down under the bridge? Maybe not quite, but surely with the inside line for the corner that follows afterwards. He's already got it done now.
Nice.
Brilliant from Kyle Ridley, all the way around the outside, carrying the speed through. Cranstone, he's going to try and fight back within the next 3 minutes, but so far, so good for Kyle Ridley. Lovely move.
Yeah, that was very committed for a very long time by Kyle Ridley. He set it up, knowing exactly what he wanted to do, kept his cool on the brakes and went round the outside of Jake Cranstone, which is not something that many people get to do. Jake just slices the nose off John Bailiff again there, but again, he had that favour handed to him by John in the first race. You know, the commitment from both of them to just glance the front bumper against their own rear bumper. I really admire that commitment, and it's what makes the racing so intense between all these guys. Back on board with Taylor Adams then, 4th place for him, 2 laps to go here now, and well, any one of these 4 could still win this. I think going on to the last lap, probably at the end of this lap, the guys will, I think, try and set themselves up to be in the position to pounce on the last lap. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like being in NASCAR. You never want to be the car leading onto the final lap. I think we're going to get a bit of that here, as Ridley and Cranstone have gone all the way over to the right-hand side, so much so that Jake's on the grass. And this is really going to help out Adams and Bailiff right now, but is it going to help Kyle Ridley? I doubt it.
Probably not. We'll see, though. Right around the outside yet again. We saw Kyle Ridley do this on the offensive. Can he do it on the defensive? He's going to get a better run out of the corner than Cranstone, but I'm not sure if it's going to be quite enough. Jake to the inside. We know he can fight it as long as there's an overlap around the outside. A pair of them side by side. They go full Kyle Ridley kicking up the grass on the outside of the corner. Jake is still there and he kicks up the dirt himself to try and get ahead. No, not quite an overlap towards left field, but the space is still afforded to him by Kyle Ridley.
Yeah, Kyle allowed him back in there, I think. I don't think he would have got the call to say that he was completely clear. And somehow Jake Cranstone has re-inherited the lead. They're side by side then onto the final lap ever in the British Boring Car Championship. I'm sure with these 4 very talented drivers, this is going to be a lap to watch. Taylor Adams moves to the left-hand side of John Bailiff. John kisses wing mirrors with him. He's round the outside at Cops is Taylor Adams. That's commitment on commitment. John gives him a bit of a door bang, tries to swap the vinyl on the door handles as he comes to him. Into Maggots and Beckett's for the final time, Ed. 2 by 2.
Oh, here we go. This is what we love to see. Bringing the Jettas out with a bang. Taylor Adams in the mix with himself, trying to battle with John Bailiff. Jake Cranstone, he's got a black flag, Chaz.
No way. Jake Cranstone's got a drive-through penalty right at the end of the race. Taylor Adams and John Bailiff lean on each other. That means Jake is not going to win 4 races on the bounce. He's not going to do both of them here tonight. Taylor Adams is trying to side draft both of them as well. Jake dives to the outside, contact with Kyle Ridley. John Bailiff down the inside, somehow tries to take second place, but no. Kyle Ridley holds on for now. Is there going to be a send from John Bailiff? What a stupid question. John Bailiff is going to try this, I'm sure. Adams still wants to defend from Cranstone. They won't know unless he tells them that he's got a black flag. He won't be telling them, I'm sure. He'll just be getting on with the race until the end. But is Kyle Ridley about to win his first race of the season? I think he might be, unless there's a big moment now for John. Taylor Adams wants this podium, and he's going to hold on to it for his life. He won't know that Jake's got that penalty looming over him. But as the sun sets on the British Boring Car Championship, the sun sets on Season 4, and it's Kyle Ridley from the land down under who is going to take the final ever race win, his first of the season. The final ever Boring Cars winner is Kyle Ridley, John Bailiff second, Taylor Adams third. With it, he wins the Independence Championship, and Jake Cranstone is your Season 4 Championship winner of Boring Cars, and with it, might just fit take the team's championship as well. Beautiful stuff, Ed. What a great way to round out the season.
Amazing final race that we were treated to there. I mean, we said it before, Boring Cars, they never disappoint. The Jettas always deliver, and well, it was a fitting send-off for what has been 4 seasons worth of, well, what we've just seen. Absolutely top-class racing.
Yeah, really door-to-door stuff. It was wonderful to behold. The Jetta TDI Cup car has been the lovable centre of this idea that came about back in 2020. And the season has received amazing support from the off, and it's continued to improve on many levels, and obviously we're all grateful for the support it's received throughout. The final season was a great display of the best racing this car has to offer, and these awesome drivers have shown it off as well. And we sincerely hope you've enjoyed all these broadcasts and continue to support the channel throughout future series and races as well. But the guys make their way in now, and I'm sure we'll probably try and put something together. They're not all crashing, which is a nice little send-off to it all. I did ask them if they'd do a little parade lap at the end, and I often do ask in my championships that, you know, the drivers do an in-lap, a clean in-lap, and drive back round to the pits. But Kyle Ridley, great way to take his first win of the season. Jake Cranstone is going to... are they doing something here, Ed? Now, if they are doing something else here, I don't know about this. I just asked them to do a slow parade lap. I don't know if Jake's going to do some donuts with a guard of honour or something. This could be quite cool.
Donuts.
Yeah, I imagine so. They're doing something. Yes. There it is. There it is. Jake Cranstone leads the way with the donuts. John Bailiff and Stuart Clark bounce it off the walls, but look at it. This is the one thing that the Jetta is the best at, it's safe to say. Dopart's just absolutely smacked into the side. Oh, how on earth is Duncan Moreos? Duncan Murray is already upside down. How has he done that? We didn't even hear a noise.
The camera just pans over and he's
just upside down. Let's make everyone dizzy. Now I get motion sickness, so that's messing with me. But Jake Cranstone is your Season 4 champion, and now begins Robot Wars. We'll stick around for this because, yeah, you can imagine they're all going to attack Jake because he's won the championship. He's already on his roof. Oh, Taylor Adams is over. Stuart Clark has had contact with Jake as well, and he's been nailed by... Oh, dearie me. Oh, that was a big sandwich. Oh, Foxy's been flipped. Here's Togo. Togo's going for it. Oh, no, he's been really respectful. Look at the state of Kyle Ridley's car. Oh, no.
He's still going. He didn't hear no bell. Never mind.
He didn't hear
He's
no
just
bell.
been wrong.
Oh, wow. Togo's car is very second-hand. I don't know what he's expecting it to do. Oh, there you go. That's what he's getting it to do. Togo Hisada, everyone. Fantastic. Where's Foxy? He's in the barrier. The Team Jane Fonda cars are just... Oh, my word. There's a screenshot for the archives.
Goodness me. But Togo's still going for it over there, look. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a send-off for this car. Let's have a look at the final result then. Kyle Ridley takes the race victory, his first of the season. John Bailiff does everything he can tonight to hold on to the team's championship lead for Vodafone, but unfortunately for them, it still goes the way of Might Just Fit. Taylor Adams gets a podium. Togo Hisada finishes fourth with Patrick Dopart fifth. That might be his best second race result of the season. Stuart Clark ends up sixth with Duncan Murray seventh, Andy Fox eighth, and Jake Cranstone, after his drive-through is converted to a time penalty, ends up ninth. Stephen Burns is a lap down. Eric Manintveld and Ben Bennyworth were non-finishers in that race. So, it's time for the final time to get some music on and see if we can have a word with some drivers and have a chat with them about their final night in the British Boring Car Championship. I tell you what, we'll start off strong, shall we? And we'll speak to the man that just got a podium overall in that race and comes away as Mediocre Cup for Independence champion, Taylor Adams. Taylor, hello and congratulations. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm all right. That was a fun bit of racing. I think I finally figured out the Jetta. I think I figured it out at Donington, and it took me a while, but yeah, I had fun tonight.
Well, as long as you had fun, that's the main thing, mate. I was going to ask, what was it like around this circuit? Because, I mean, I love this track just because of the pure nostalgia of the place, but it's not an easy one, is it?
No. I seem to be jinxed a bit by that where Abbey is on the new layout. I've killed Kyle twice there now, so, in 2 different events. So I feel really bad about that, but no, it's fun. Other than the cones that get stuck under your car and make you lose loads of speed.
I
They're
did
a bit
wonder.
annoying.
Yeah, because I remember we had some of that in the previous seasons, and I wondered because it wasn't animating at our end. You just drove through them and they didn't move. So I wondered if that was a problem for people tonight, and evidently it was.
Yeah. I only had it in practice, but yeah, you really have to like dodge them at times, which is a bit sketchy because you lose like a lot of speed. A lot.
Understandable. I mean, it's quite clever of iRacing still to animate that, but yeah, annoying as a driver. What have you thought of the season then overall, Taylor? You seem to have enjoyed yourself out there in this ridiculous car.
Yeah, it's been really good fun. It took me a few races to get used to it, but the racing's it's firm, but it's fair at the same time in general. It's definitely firm, but definitely fair. And yeah, it's a good laugh. Everyone has fun.
It's the main thing.
I've enjoyed it. And, to win the championship, I'll take it.
Absolutely, and that's 2 championships in a row now on Chaz Draycott Media that you've managed to clinch. So hats off. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight, Taylor?
Well, first off, thanks to you and Ed for putting on this championship. It's been brilliant fun, and I really appreciate the work that goes into it. Also, hello to my girlfriend and my parents who are watching, and shout out to Matt for keeping me company and throughout the season at times on Discord.
Well, send our best to Matt as well. It's always lovely to hear him get mentioned, and it is our absolute pleasure, Taylor. Great to have you, as always, mate. And hopefully we'll see you again soon on our screens, wherever that might be in the world of iRacing.
Yeah, I think I'm away for 2 of your rounds of Formula CDM, so I didn't think So I'll do the next season if there's space.
It would be fantastic to see you in it, mate. Well, thank you very, very much, as always, Taylor. Well done again on winning the Mediocre Cup for Independence, and we look forward to seeing you soon, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Taylor Adams, I mean, like we said there, Ed, he's been having a good time on Chaz Draycott Media of late, hasn't he? He took a win this season as well in the Jetta, and he just, again, ducks to water in any car you put him in.
Yeah, really, really impressive, isn't it, to see the likes of Taylor Adams and, like you mentioned as well, Jake Cranstone being a driver that can just, I think, almost like a chameleon, don't they? They blend in, they sort of find themselves so comfortable and at home in any situation, and it's stuff like that we always love to see them taking part in and being involved with.
Absolutely, and well, we don't have bias here on Chaz Draycott Media at all, but I'm sure we were both over the moon to see this man take a race victory tonight. Kyle, so close on so many occasions, but you finally got that win here in Season 4, and well, what a busy race to get it in as well. You must be shattered.
Look, it's been a it's been one of my toughest seasons on if with anything to do with the Jetta. The luck just wasn't there. Every time I'd find myself in a decent result, I would all of a sudden be in the gravel or facing backwards. It was a lot for the season to be desired, but for it to finally have come around and drive really well and get that win towards the end of the season, I'm pretty happy. I can't be too shattered, Ches. I got a whole 10-hour day in front of me at work.
Imagine starting your day with a boring cars race. At least you started it with a win, though. You've started your day off well. I mean,
yeah, natural high.
Yeah, exactly. And you have the title of the final ever race winner in the British Boring Car Championship as well. So, you know.
Well, I noticed you had the sun setting on the season, and coincidentally, possibly the sun setting on the Jetta. So
absolutely.
It's the favourite car of many of us here. That's why the core group is so good. So I'm sure one year, someone will do another Jetta league of some type, and we'll all come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I hope so, mate, and I'll be there to watch and laugh my head off as we often do at this absolutely phenomenal niche little car. What has your season been like from your perspective overall, then, Kyle? I know you said that you've not had quite the luck on side, but what have been the sort of highs and lows that you've stored?
Well, this is most definitely the high. This track just works so well for me. Even the first race of the season was up there fighting Jake and all that. Low. Probably something else. No, I'm joking. Lows, just constantly just having issues. But I changed my brakes this season as well, so just that massive learning curve, and I think it's finally coming around my way. But no, I just really happy.
Well, it's great to hear it, Kyle, and obviously it's been a pleasure to have you amongst the group again and on our screens, and we were very happy to see you finally get that win at the end. I think we both agree that you deserved it with all the hard work that goes in. You were always near the front, and like you say, just the luck always got away from you. But before we let you go for the final time, is there anyone you'd like to give a quick shout-out or a mention to?
Of course, I want to thank yourself and Ed. You guys, probably one of my favourite broadcasters, always have good time watching it. You really get in depth with the drivers, which just expands upon it rather than just calling what you see on screen. But I want to thank all the drivers. Again, such a cool group, and that we show up every week, and the racing is just what it is. We know what to expect, and it's what gives you that show. And I want to thank one person who was watching, Matt King. He's been watching all season, waking up early for me.
Oh, bless him.
All season, and he's already given me congratulations, so I'm sure I'll have a chat with him much later today.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I hope Matt's enjoyed the show as well, and thank you very much for the kind words, Kyle. It is our pleasure to put things like this on, and hopefully we'll see you on our screens again very soon, mate. But for now, thanks very much for being a part of the British Boring Car Championship, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Kyle Ridley, and like I say, Ed, we don't have a bias, but we both like Kyle, and he's, he wears that number 3 on the car because he was 3rd last season, so close to the championship, but ends up just falling a bit short this time of such a result. Still, not a bad season, though.
No, not a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. It's been, like you said, one for adjustment, obviously with the change to the brake pads, sort of the brake pressure. Just need to, again, get that muscle memory redialed in, but it seemed to come through for him right at the end of the season.
Definitely did, and well, somebody that didn't make it work at the end of the season, but for the whole flipping thing, was Jake Cranstone, who comes away as finally British Boring Car Championship winner. Jake, you had, a ball tonight by the look of it, mate. Unfortunately, not getting the result in the second race you wanted, but looked like you had a bit of a fun ding-dong on the way there, mate.
Yeah, nearly. I don't know if you saw on the replay, but it was just horrific netcode. Me and Kyle left both of each other enough space. We were never going to hit each other, but it just gave a massive netcode. There was about 2 foot between us.
No.
So, yeah, that was my last 4x. So there you go. That happens. But did we still get the teams? Me and Donkey.
You did indeed.
Hey.
I think you had it sealed in race 1, I think, as well. Because even though John clawed back the points in the second one, I think simply with the fact that there was 2 of you out there basically meant that you had enough. Because I think in the end you were classified what? I don't know. Can't remember now. You were 9th, and I think Duncan was 7th, wasn't he, or 6th or something? Yeah, it worked out that you had enough. I think you gained something like 14 points as an advantage after the first race. So yeah, you won it, and yeah, not just drivers' championship but teams champion as well, mate.
Good, yes, that's what we wanted. I was trying to help Duncan have a good result tonight, so that was good. The first race to have him on the podium with me, so yeah, can't complain.
Cracking stuff. Well, how would you sum up the season that you've had here then? Maybe even the 2 seasons of the British Boring Car Championship that you've had here on CDM.
Well, this season has sort of been split in, well, a quarter and then 3 quarters. The first quarter I was battling with Morgan quite a lot, and I was worried about him. I'm not going to lie, I was worried about him. But then he's just got other racing commitments because he's just stupidly cool. So, yeah, the other 3 quarters was just good fun, laughs in the voice chat, and just getting on with the job. We got it done, both the drivers and the teams, and had an absolute laugh whilst doing it. So it's been fantastic.
Well, that's the best thing to hear. And I know that, we make the point that you guys often race all together in Discord and talk away through the race. And, it helps out in situations where, if one of you is running deep or whatever, you can shout about it and, figure it out. And I think that helps the racing quite a lot. And it's clear to see from the outset that you guys all get on and have a good laugh. So, yeah, it's been a joy as always. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you have the final word of the season?
Well, shout out to anyone watching along, my mum, Ali and Dave supported through this season. Thanks for watching. Cheers to all the guys racing along. It's been absolutely brilliant. Loved every minute. Thanks for you guys for streaming and doing the commentary. Looking forward to watching this one back. I'm sure it was good fun, the racing tonight. So yes, just thank you to everybody involved, and yeah, it's a shame it's over.
It is, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Go out on a high, and I think the idea has run its course now, but it's been fantastic fun along the way. Jake, massive well done again on a great season, mate, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you take on the ventures of Formula CDM.
Yes, well, unfortunately I can't do the first season, so...
yeah, unfortunately not, but we know you'll be about at some point. I can...
yeah, it's definitely... It's on my radar, but I can only... Well, if I did sign up, I could only attend 1 race, so...
Probably still win the championship. Still, either way, Jake, pleasure as always, mate. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you on the grid soon.
You will, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, bye.
Jake Cranstone, the gentleman that posted on his Instagram story today a picture of them loading a Ferrari 250 into a trailer to go off to Goodwood. What a boy. Fantastic stuff, Ed. But unfortunately, that is the end of the British Boring Car Championship. 5 years after its inception. Sure, only 4 seasons, so it's not like, we were doing 2 championships a year and it was constant. But, the idea is it's certainly had a good long life, hasn't it? It's been good fun, all this.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you've got to sort of look at it with the mindset of don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. And my word, did it happen. It happened numerous times in varying different forms, sometimes good happening, sometimes bad. But I'll tell you what, it really ended off tonight in the way that it is sort of carried on and been going on for the last 4 seasons. It was non-stop action, some of the best racing you'll ever get to see on iRacing, and yeah, a very fitting way to round off what has been a great time with you, Chaz, commentating on these Jettas.
Well, thank you very much, Ed. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you so much, everybody who has been watching. I saw the comment come in from Ben Chalcraft asking if there's any tin top teas for the future. Nothing in plans just yet, unfortunately. The Formula CDM planning has sort of taken over everything else. There are plans for GT something to be addressed in future, but that is very, very far over the horizon, looking into 2026 for now. So there may be something, but I can't confirm too much yet because you never know how plans go. But still, Formula CDM starts, well, very soon actually. Next Tuesday night we will have the the random team draw for the first ever season of Formula CDM, and tomorrow night the public entries go live for that as well at 7 PM UK time, so make sure you snap up an entry for that while you can. A big shout out for now, though, for the championship sponsors of the Chas Draycott Media British Boring Car Championship. Thanks very much to Abruzzi, to Derbyshire Holiday Homes, and for Orris Analytics and Orris Digital for all of their continued support. It's been a joy to have this final season underway and have their support. Taylor Adams takes the win in the Independents Championship. Might Just Fit take the Teams Championship, and Jake Cranstone is your Drivers' Champion of the British Boring Car Championship. From me, Chas Draycott, and from Ed May, thank you so much for watching this crazy idea for 5 years. We'll see you again in something very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Dennis Melchett has done enough to win the last round of the championship and to win the title all in one fell swoop.
It's the British Boring Car Championship. Things are never chilled here. Honestly, the cars may be a bit dull, but wow, the racing certainly isn't.
Fastest lap of the race now, Ben Lambert.
Look at Andy Fox coming through the middle. He makes a little bit of contact. Dave Waldock is around and he's off on the grass.
Rayfield tries to go right round the outside at Druids. You do not do that and get away with it very often.
Takes the win in round 12. There's contact again. Fraser Smith and Dennis Melchett are off the circuit.
Back in 2021, the Chas Draycott Media European Touring Car Championship took place, showcasing the bonkers Kia Optima and a number of fictional brands created for the series as a way to provide teams with colour schemes and liveries that avoided any potential copyright implications towards brands or conflicts of interest for the drivers using them. Now, as if plucked from the same universe nearly 4 years later, some of those brands are set to return to your screens. There are no signs of door handles or Kia badges here though, as the latest Chas Draycott Media branded iRacing series sets to follow in the footsteps of the relatively successful Formula 1, on which the curtain closed earlier this year. Combining action-packed open-wheel racing with the colourful brands and logos of the ETCC gives you my latest offering, Formula CDM. Formula CDM is set to be a group of championships visiting all corners of the globe, with drivers fighting for title honours in individual regions. There is to be a European, American, Oceania and even British championship, all culminating into the one with the most bragging rights, the World Series. The format will make use of a sprint and feature race, the former being short and snappy, rewarding a small points boost at the start of the night, while setting the grid for the latter, a long, tough race with a mandatory pit stop to throw all elements at our drivers. The car used will be the Tatus PM18, known in iRacing as the Indy Pro 2000 PM18, a fantastic little 500 kilo formula car propelled to over 160 miles an hour by 275 of Mazda's finest horsepower. The first season is planned to get underway in October 2025 with 8 meetings across Europe running into January 2026, and the best thing of all, entry fees will be just £5 for the first instalment. From there on, returning drivers will receive a discount on future entry fees, subject to participation. It's bound to be a brilliantly fun world tour in one of iRacing's most underrated open-wheel gems. Formula CDM, coming soon.